Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. It's Adam Ratliff with Adam So Fun, and I'm late. It is currently Friday at 9:13. This video should have already dropped, and I'm just starting to make it. But hey, whatever. Things come up. I had a quilt on the frame that I just didn't feel like doing. I finally finished it yesterday. I actually love how it turned out. I was taking some pictures this morning. I will post them on my Facebook page later. So before we get into the video, let's do some housekeeping. I'm Adam So Fun. I do a lot of videos on quilting, long arm, domestic, whatever. I just do fun videos. So please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when my new videos drop. I try to put a video out every Friday at 9, but I can't even say that because I'm late today. You can also find me on social media at Adam So Fun. That's with an S-E-W on Facebook and Instagram, where a lot of other things that don't make the YouTube channel live. I post pictures of quilts. I don't know. I'm weird. I post a lot of stuff. It doesn't all make the channel. I posted a picture about my new Yeti cup that's Handy Quilter Purple. So, links below. So this is our open options quilt. Open options, this is my summer quilt along, hashtag asfsummerqal. I am so excited. You all have like blown me away in your color choices and your layouts, and they all already look so great, and they're just going to look better because we're about to quilt them. But this is the open options pattern. This is by Material Girlfriends. There are other patterns that look like this out there. Use whatever you want. I don't care. This is the one I decided to use. They made it easy. They made it fast. 6 seams. Your 2 blocks are done. Perfect. So this is it. I will link how to get them below. You can get the paper copy like I have, or you can print your own at home off their Etsy shop. ASF10, code ASF10 will save you 20% off the pattern on their Etsy shop. It kind of saves it off of all of their digital patterns. So go shop around, look at some of the other patterns. You've already made one, you know you love it. Why not get a few more? So that's Open Options Material Girlfriends. Today, I have mine loaded up. I am using I'm using a 50-50 blend batting. This is from American Fiber Products. You can find them at loftsupply.com. This is the 50-50 bamboo cotton. I haven't stitched with it. I thought I'd give it a try. They're awesome. They're out of Houston? Let's say Houston, I'm pretty sure. They're out of the Houston area. They do some different types. This is an 80-20. You know my favorite, 80-20. So this is 80-20. I'll give it a try too, but I was like, hey, why not try some bamboo? People ask me about it. So my quilt is loaded because I already have my burrito loading methods. You can watch any of those videos to find out how I load and how I base down. So I'm loaded, I'm basted. I have my glide foot on. If you have a glide foot, please put it on for this quilt. We have a lot of really bulky seams where all those corners come together. That glide foot's going to allow that foot just to slide right over. Your needle will punch it in place, and that was a little aggressive. Oh my gosh. But your needle will punch it down in place, hold it all together, depending on the design you're using. I'm going to be using the delicate... I almost forgot. Quiltable.com has made an exclusive, I don't want to say exclusive, anybody can buy it, but has made a set specifically for this design. I chatted with them, we went through some options, I gave them some things that I thought would look cool, and then they said, oh look, here it is digitized. Amazing, they are amazing over there, so generous. So they have the delicate bay sets. There is a digitized set with 10 different designs that can be used on other things, not just this. Jen jumped the gun. She is so good. I told her that the video was coming out on Friday. So this morning I woke up to a picture of her quilt done, and she just used one edge to edge. It looked so good. So again, Facebook, I'll repost that after I get finished video recording this. But oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. If you are not automized, or if you do not have automation, yeah, that's what I'm looking. If you don't have automation. Automation? If you don't have it's one of those days. It's Friday. I'm ready for 4th of July. If you don't have automation, if you are a free motion quilter but you like to use stencils, or I guess you could even create your own panto with it, I guess, by lining it up and sending it back. I don't know. You're a panto person. You can figure it out. But if you like to use stencils, Quiltable also has some of the designs available as a print-at-home design, so you can create your own stencil with it. I will be doing that with one block, if I can find that block, and that should be out next week. I'm going to do it on my domestic machine and just free motion quilt it. I'm kind of liking sitting on my domestic and stitching out a little more when they're small, maybe? I don't know. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about that with my therapist. So don't forget, on Quiltable, any day you can use code ASF10 for an additional 10% off your purchase. I know a lot of you already do that, so thank you so much for there. Again, I will link Quiltable below. I'm going to be stitching with some beautiful tri-level poly thread. This is typically your embroidery threads, but it has that shine to it. I think this is going to be fabulous. I'm using red and black today. This is Magnifico from Superior Threads. They're called Superior for a reason. I'm just going to leave it there. And I'm using some Super Bob poly bobbins. These are pre-wound bobbins. You know I like to wind my own, but I'm like, why not try them out? Brand new. They just hit the website this morning. So today is July 1st, and you can now get Super Bob polys on the website. Go get them before they sell out. They shouldn't sell out. I think they fixed all that. So I'm using black. I'm going to use black for the red and for my black thread. And I think it's going to be fine because I'm stitching on my black squares. I'm going to stitch with red thread. So if that tension messes up a little bit, as long as it messes up towards the top, I'm going to cheat towards the top. I'm not going to see it because black thread, black fabric. And then on the black, it's black and black. So I'm just using that. Figured it worked. I'm using my TOA gauge. I find with these, especially with pre-wounds especially, I find they're not all created exactly the same. These have cardboard on the outside, so they can expand if you live in a humid area, so you might have to take one of the cardboards off, both of them off. I was actually stitching with some of these on the last quilt. Fabulous, great success, but I had to take both of the cardboard pieces off because it was just a little too tight with them on, and then this was actually loose, so I had to tighten it up. So that's why I love a TOA. It takes all of those other guessworks out. I will link this below too. You do need an M-size TOA if you're using a long arm. What else do I have here that I need to talk about? Nothing. Let's get into it. I'm going to pop you over here. Again, I'm using the Delicate Bay designs. I am going to be stitching this one in all feathers. I feel like that was my first kind of, not inspiration, but my first thought of how I wanted to quilt this whenever it was kind of running in my mind. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to bring you close so I can do the typical Adam and move you up and down, get you dizzy, and get you looking at everything I'm doing. So we'll see you back here in a second. All right, so here's my quilt top. I am stitching with my Infinity, so I'm going to be able to do almost this whole center block. I'm going to be able to do in one pass. Most of you aren't going to be able to do that because this block is pretty tall, and I think, let me open that design for it. The design is 10 inches tall to fit here, so you might be able to do it, but you might start losing space, especially if you have like a 16 or a Moxie. I'm going to show you how to change that design up if you want to use this design to be able to fit in here. So I'll show you that in a minute. But I've also went around and I've kind of drawn a line that's 1/4 inch from my edge because I'm going to be placing a specific design that's made to fit up here in these areas, and I want it to be somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? I want it to fit pretty good. How about that? That's my word. We kind of haphazardly put these blocks together. Well, I kind of haphazardly put my blocks together, so not everything is going to fit perfect. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to be able to kind of maneuver things around to make it look perfect. This block is going to be really easy. These outside ones a little bit harder, but nothing like that's going to like break the bank. So I'm going to show you my way of doing this because I'm going to set up this whole pass and have it stitch everything that it can. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to stitch. Can you even see that block? Yeah, you can. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to stitch this piece. I'll stitch this whole section. Stitch these two pieces, this whole section. These two pieces, this whole section in the top right. And then I'm going to be able to advance. I'm using black thread again on the red. So this will be able to stitch all one color. It's going to be fine. But I'm going to need to go in and I'm going to need to mark some stuff with my area so I can see where I'm placing things. We have intersections to show us the center on these blocks, but we want to make sure that we're filling up this area and not going into the black. When we do these, we need to make sure we're not going into our points as well. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to create an area. So if I take you to my screen, sorry, don't get dizzy. And I know the screen flickers, you're just going to have to live with it. Sorry, don't know how to get rid of it. But I'm going to go to my area tab. And I'm going to start creating an area. Now I can hit the multi-point button or I can hit the button on my handlebar, and that's what I'm going to do because that's why I have an infinity. So what I want to do is I'll just start in my top left corner. I have it marked. And I'll probably do the top whole row last. So let's come down. I'm going to come all the way down to where that mark is here. And now I'm going to follow the outside of this diamond. And I'm just kind of marking around, not being super precise because it's not like I'm not going to be using skew or anything. Yeah, let's go all the way up. And then I'm just going to pop, oh no, actually, we'll come down the other side. Now I need this inner octagon. So I'm just going to pop around this inner octagon. And again, I'm being pretty haphazard, getting close, but not worrying about it being absolutely perfect because I'm not going all the way out. I'm not using skew. I'm gonna custom quilt this. I am going to come in. I'm going to use my buttons instead of skew. I'm going to use resize to make things the size that I want. Now that I'm back here, I'm going to travel down this way and just do the same thing. I'm going to work my way across this row. Dinging around. Right here, there's this line in the center. I'm not going to worry about that line. I'll take care of it later. Or actually, we don't even need to take care of it later. How far am I going? Because it will be taken, these two designs kind of butt up to each other. So I'm going to slide you down. Sorry. So I'm here. I'm going to work my way in the inner octagon again. Right here, thick seam, and good thing I have my glide foot. I'm to this part, so I'll work my way the inner octagon again. I know some of you are yelling, stop leaning on your bar. Oops. Do what I say, not what I do. So now I'm coming out to the end. Over here I have that line marked again. So I'm going to use my marked line as my reference point. And now I have my line across the top. I'm just going to shoot over. It should be straight because I used a ruler to draw it. I am going to cut off some of the tips of my points. I'm okay with that. Again, haphazard. It's how I put it together. And I can end where I started. So now this is where the magic happens, baby. First off, bring your machine towards you. This is almost all the way to the front of my frame. Don't reach all the way back and stretch. Like, this is all about you being comfortable. We're working in the computer for the rest of the time until we stitch, so we don't really need to have it that far away, or a lot of time. We're gonna have to move the machine a little bit. I'm gonna hit my bottom house refresh, and that is the design we just made. So I have all of this area done. I'm going to turn my measure and turn my zoom off. I have all of this area done, and now I can use it for placement for my pieces. So let's do File, Design, Open. This is the Delicate Bay, so these are all the Delicate Bay designs from Quiltable. I'm going to be using the feathers. So I'm going to use the feather octagon, and I'm going to use this feather corner. So first thing I want to do is show those of you who might not have the throat space that I do, how you can make this and manipulate this design to fit specifically for you. So this design is 4 pieces. It's just this design repeated kind of in a row, in a round. So we can use our crop function to take one little corner and save that, and then that's going to be your new design. So if you were stitching, I'm going to point you down really quick. So if you're stitching this and you don't have the full 10 inches, and I think I actually am going to make it a little bit bigger than 10, you can stitch these 2 pieces, which are 5 inches tall, and these 2 pieces, which are 5 inches tall. So you could do your top 2, advance, and then do your bottom 2, and still be able to stitch this just like I do if you have the Moxie or the 16 with your Pro Stitcher Lite. But you know, it's one extra step, but that's what happens. It's just one extra step, nothing hard. So I'm going to show you how to do this. What we want to do is we want to move and put we want to move our end point. So I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher tab, and I'm already in New Start End. Our start point is here, and I'm going to use my down arrow, and you should have, if you're at 537, which everybody should update to 537, you'll have arrows up here. These do little tiny increments, like 0.01 at a time. So as that start point is moving, you just can't really see it because it's going so slow. These bottom ones do do more than 0.01. I'm not sure exactly how they decide, but you can see my start point moving around that design. I'm going to put it back. And then these are your jumps. You might have umps. That's fine. They do the same thing. It just means your sidebar is a little thinner. And to me, if that, like, my S is kind of cut off, my J is a little bit cut off, I'm okay with that. It does not bother me at all. So we need to move our our end point back through all of these other designs until it gets to the end of this one. So I'm going to hold my up button. Not my ump or my jump. I'm going to hold my up button here, and we'll see it start taking off. Now it's going to run through all of these, so I'm going to use my scroll bar and just move it up farther. Watch it. I'm going to get it close. And now I'm going to use my button to pop it here until it gets right back in the center. I can zoom in and see, like, center-ish, because it doesn't look like it actually gets all the way to the center point. But if I start moving it little tiny increments, that's where it shifts directions the other way. So we're going to say that's the center. These are not on top of each other, but we are zoomed in really, really close. So when we zoom out, they look exactly on top of each other. So I'm going to zoom back into this. So now that I've moved that, I'm going to go Modify Tab, Crop, Start End. And now I have my one piece. Baseline, always baseline after a crop. I hope you've waken up since you've passed out, because that was so cool. And then we're going to File, Save, Selected, and I want to save this as Feather Octagon, and I'm always renaming this quarter. Save. And now I have that 1/4 piece. And now if you are using one of the other machines, you can just open this multiple times and place it. So easy, so fast. So yeah, that's how to do that. I'm going to close that because I don't need it. I just need the regular one. So I'm going to File, Design, Open. Let's place our octagons first. Those are going to be faster. So I have 3 of these. So to place it, I am going to put my laser light, my needle, right at the center of this design. All right. Come back up to the screen. Get you as close as I can. Oops. Modify Tab, Reposition, and I'm just going to hit center. It's going to center the design where my needle is. And I know it's the center of the block because it's where the seams meet up. I'll zoom in. I always like to zoom in when I do anything. That looks pretty good. I think I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to hit Modify Tab or Resize. Over on the side, I'm going to turn my lock on because I want to keep that aspect ratio, and I will increase the size to however big I want it. Nope, one too far. So I like that. Where's this one? I think I'm going to do 11.25. And just split the difference. And then now I'm going to hit baseline. And then now I'm going to file, save, selected, because I've changed it and this is how I want to use it. Feather octagon, and I'm just going to add atom to it. Uh-oh. I don't know what that did. Atom. Save. So now I have my new design. I need 3 of these, so I'm going to go to my Edit tab, duplicate, there's 1, and there's 2. So now I have 3. They're all on top of each other, so we can't see them. So I'm going to move my machine over to this intersection. And I'm basically, I got to move this camera around. I'm basically just repeating that process. I'm going to modify, reposition, center. I'll zoom in. That looks good. So now I'm going to select my next one, move to the intersection here. Reposition, center. Let's zoom in. There we are. And now I have those 3 elements placed and ready to stitch out. All right, so I'm back at the top left. We're going to put in this corner. So File, Design, Open. I need to pick up my design, and it's Feather Corner. Open. So first thing I need to do, let's zoom in. And I'm going to leave it here because I'm going to use the crosshairs where they're positioned. I have it marked in that corner where I marked my corner. So first thing I need to do is rotate. So modify, rotate, and I'm going to rotate it to make it look like my design. So there's 2 things I can do. I can either use the start point. So I can go to modify, reposition, start point. It puts the start point of the design right where my needle is. In this case, if I look at this design, I can see that it's going to stitch higher than my my orange line. It's also going to stitch farther to the left of my orange line. So this design was not digitized where start point is going to work perfect, because then I'm going to get overstitching of the pieces. So I can instead use modify, reposition. On my sidebar, there's this button that says top left. I can hit top left. It shifts it down to put the top left corner of the bounding box, which is a part of a digitized thing that you can't see. And now that looks much better. These places are where those feathers are going to bump up against the neighbor, and then I can scroll down and see how that looks working around my my triangle on my quilt, and that looks good. So I can either duplicate this, or I can come in and open, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to File, Design, Open. I'm going to open 1 more, and I'm going to just drag it over here. I'm going to duplicate this one 4 more times. And the reason I'm doing that is that I want to duplicate something I haven't changed at all, because I've changed this one, and so this is the fresh one. So it's like me opening 5 of them. So we'll go to this block. I'm going to slide the camera, or slide you over. Oops, you're stuck on the shirt. So again, I know where that interaction is going to be. So I'm moving my machine to where the seam matches up with my line I drew. There we are. Going up to my screen, I can select 1, modify, reposition top right. I'll select another one. This one I'm going to have to rotate and modify, reposition top left. And now I have both of them in there. Because we are custom quilting, I'm going to come in and I'm going to zoom into my stuff and see if I need to shift these around a little bit. Like, so this one, I can use my nudges to just move over a little bit, maybe up a little bit. That one looks good. We'll move over and up a little bit. And that looks good. So those two pieces are done. And you might be thinking, well, why not baseline and save these two and just continue to use those? If you baseline and save them, you can't shift them independently. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of work and shift them as needed. So we're going over to our next one. So here's where our next interaction is. We're losing some light because it was in the way. All right, so I have my needle in the right place. Let's pick my designs. Selecting my first one, modify reposition top right. I'll select my second one. I'm going to rotate it, modify rotate to make it look like my design, then reposition top left. Let's zoom in and check them. And these ones are probably going to need to be moved a little bit more than the other ones because the other ones we have the center again. But we'll see when we get there. So let's nudge this one. We're here. I'm going to nudge it up and to the right, just one. That actually looks pretty good. This one needs to be nudged a little bit. Over and up. And these little shifts, you're never going to be able to tell. So those two are good. So now we have to do our final one. So I'm moving my machine over. Where I have it marked. I'll pick that last design. Modify, reposition, top. I hit top left. Oops, that's wrong. So we'll hit top right. Zoom in to check it. And this corner is way messed up, so we're going to just shift it around as needed. And part of that is me drawing the lines. So there we go. So now, when I zoom out, I have all of my layout done. Bring it up. So now when I stitch this, I'm going to have it stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to do 9 designs. So what I want to do is on the bottom left of my screen, I can hit select all. So now I have everything selected, but you can see there's jumps everywhere and we don't want jumps. So over on my sidebar tabs, I'm going to hit workspace. And if I scroll down, this shows everything that lives in my universe, in my Pro Stitcher universe. I'm going to scroll down and I'll see this group, and that group has everything in there. So I can see that it's starting with feather octagon. And it's starting here. That's not right. It needs to be second to left. So I can use these arrows down here to change that stitch order. So I moved it down. This feather corner needs to be last. So, and you can see the design turning red when it's selected. So I have this one, and I'm counting from the bottom up, and then here, and then there, and then there. So there we're good. And it's going to be these two. So let's bring this second feather octagon. We need to have it down. One more. There we go. And I can see my jumps crisscrossing. So there we go. There we are. Feather corner. I want that to be first. So now if I select through these, I can see there's my number 1. Number 2 is here. 3 and 4. There. 5. 6 and 7, 8 and 9. And at this point, I'm going to baseline, and we're going to get ready to stitch this out. So I have done a lot of stuff. I'm going to go up to my edit, and I'm just going to clear my history really quick, just to free up some brain space. And you can sit back and relax while we stitch this out. All right, so we finished the first row. I've already advanced. You know, we're not dragging and dropping anything. I have, this is my screen. I'm going to just file tab, clear all. Thanos snap everything away because we are going and working on our next row. So for this row, I'm going to have one part to do over. Yeah, you can see that. Let me see, move you back. Oh, you can see the whole row that way. Awesome. So we'll have half of the octagon here. I'll have 4 of the angled pieces here. 3 of the angled pieces here because I'm not stitching black on black. And then 1 angled piece here. I'm just going to set this and the octagon and this piece up really quick to show you how to do it. And then I'm just going to finish all of the rest of it off camera because I have a herd dog. So I'm going to have to go hang out with Barry on the couch because he's not feeling good. So first thing first, we have to make our area. So I'm going to my area tab so I can create my area. And I'm going to move you over a little bit. And we're just going to work in this block and that block. So I'm going to start over on my top left. And I'm going to just ding my way around like I did last time. Even, I drive with one hand every once in a while, but even when I'm marking, I usually am using 2 hands. So this is weird for me. And that should have it. Perfect. Oh, I was totally wrong. I don't have any of my octagons cut in half. Things you learn when you make your thing, when you make your blocks. All right, so I have my 2 pieces here. So we only need those right corners this time. So I'm going to hit File, Design, Open. And I'm going to pick my feather corner like I did last time. And, I'm still on Zoom. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just hit Edit and duplicate this 5 times. If I go to my Workspace tab on the sidebar, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feather corners. So modify, rotate. Always, what do I do first? I rotate to make it look like my shape. I need to move my needle to where I want it on the quilt. I didn't draw a line this time. There we go. And let me turn this light off. There we are. And now I'm going to reposition on my sidebar tabs. I want bottom left this time. There we go. And I'm definitely going to have to fix that one. I'll select another one. Rotate it to make it look like my shape. Reposition top left. So let's zoom into both of those. And this one's going to have to be nudged every... Uh-oh, I have the wrong one selected, of course. This one's going to have to be nudged every which way. There we go. Actually, I'm going to come down a little bit. There we are. Scroll down, select my other one. This one doesn't look too bad. There we go. Now we'll come in and I'm going to move my crosshairs to the center of this block. I'll turn you down so you see what I'm doing. So my crosshairs are right at the center. I have all my lights off so you guys could see it stitching out. So this one should be a little bit easier because they're pieced and it's not the outside edges, which are all a little bit messed up. Let's see. We're going to rotate, reposition, bottom right. So this time we're going to end up using bottom right, bottom left, top right, top left. Rotate. And you can put them in however you want as you work your way around. It doesn't really matter. Actually, that one is perfect. And I guess I forgot to duplicate one. Oh, I just counted wrong. So we'll just open one more, and I will modify, rotate, reposition, top left. So now I can come into these ones and see if I need to shift some stuff around a little bit. Wrong one selected again. So see how these are overlapping a little bit? I'm gonna resize this and just shrink it down. And I don't want to shrink it down too much. Let's see, we started at 6. I could probably do 6.75. And that looks good. Actually, let's try 6.8. There we go. And really, we're just trying to get these to look like they belong. Which one's this one? Resize. Looks good. Those look good. That one looks really good. This one might need to shift down over just a tad. There we go. So now we have both of these set up. I can do what I did last time. The bottom left button is select all. I'm going to my group and seeing how it's stitching out. So it's the bottom one. That one's not right. So these 4 are all in order, and then let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 needs to be 2 or 1. So I'm just going to push down and down. So there we are. We're there. We're going to jump over and then stitch these ones out. And I am going to change the stitch out order of the other ones because I'm crazy. There we go. So we'll baseline, and now I'm going to stitch this out. All right, everyone, so that is it for today. I've shown you how to create those areas around where you have like one big area. Remember, we're not using it to skew. We're using it as a placement marker. So I've showed you how to create those areas, how to place those designs in, and this would be the same process for any of those delicate bay designs. Maybe you found design somewhere else that you wanted to use, and that's fine. That's how you're going to do it. You're going to create your areas, place your designs in, stitch them out. This is looking fantastic. I was a little bit apprehensive about using the black on the red, but I think it looks really good. I thought it was going to distract and you were going to see just this bold line of black, but really you see those feathers when you look close. I'm loving how I'm getting these echoed shapes with this block in particular. So I'm just going to continue to work my way through this. I will show pictures on my Facebook page. So remember, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop. Follow me on social media, AdamSoFun with an SEW on Facebook and Instagram, where you see more of the content that doesn't happen here. You'll be able to see this quilt done first. What else? All the links to everything below, the TOA, the Material Girlfriends, the Delicate Bay patterns from Quiltable. What else did I talk about? My Yeti cup, I don't know. Oh, and then Magnifico thread. So I will link everything below, but thanks for watching. Sorry this video came out late. It's going to be a crazy day already, I know it. And we'll see you all next week in a new video. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Bye. Oh, at the end of the day, it's just quilting.